back to the Global Film Lens, the podcast exploring the intersection of cinema, culture, and the human spirit. I'm your host, Pixie Chroma, and with me today, as always, is FlickerFrame.
Great to be here, PixieChroma. After our deep dive into the rich landscapes of East Asian cinema last time, today we're crossing continents to explore two foundational pillars of European Auteur cinema, France and Italy.
That's right. These two nations haven't just produced great films, they've birthed entire cinematic movements, shaped philosophical narratives, and profoundly influenced global filmmaking. We'll be looking at everything from groundbreaking new waves and gritty post-war realism to the delicate balance of art, house versus commercial cinema, and the role of government funding and international co-productions.
Let's begin our journey. In France, a country synonymous with the very idea of auteur cinema and revolutionary filmmaking, it's impossible to talk about French cinema without immediately jumping into the French New Wave.
Absolutely. The New Wave wasn't just a style, it was a philosophical and aesthetic rebellion. Emerging in the late 1950s and 60s, it broke all the rules using jump cuts, natural lighting, handheld cameras, and direct address to the audience. It put the director's personal vision, their Auteur stamp, front and center.
And at the heart of this revolution were figures like Jean-Luc Godard, with his audacious, intellectually stimulating films, and François Truffaut, who brought a more humanist and often autobiographical touch. For our first recommendation, we have Truffaut's iconic The 400 Blows.
The 400 Blows isn't just a coming-of-age story. It's a poignant exploration of youth, rebellion, and the failures of the adult world, all seen through the eyes of the young Antoine Doinel. Its ending shot is legendary and truly cemented the New Wave's impact.
And we absolutely cannot forget AgnèsVarda, a true matriarch of the New Wave, often overlooked in initial discussions, but whose influence is immense. She carved her own path with a unique blend of documentary and fiction, always with an empathetic and curious gaze. Our recommendation from her is Cleo from 5 to 7.
Cleo from 5 to 7 is a real journey with a singer awaiting biopsy results, exploring themes of mortality, identity, and female experience in Paris. It's visually stunning, deeply contemplative, and a masterclass in subjective narrative. French cinema's legacy is also tied to its strong government funding models, which have historically supported risk-taking and artistic integrity, allowing this kind of challenging art house cinema to flourish alongside more commercial fare.
From the intellectual ferment of France, let's gracefully glide south to Italy, a country whose cinematic history is equally profound and impactful, particularly in the post-war era.
The immediate post-World War II period saw the rise of Italian Neorealism, a movement born out of necessity and a desire for truth. Directors used non-professional actors, natural settings, and stories about everyday struggles to portray the harsh realities of post-war Italy.
The quintessential director of this movement is Vittorio De Sica, and his masterpiece, our recommendation, Bicycle Thieves. This film is devastating in its simplicity and profound in its depiction of poverty, dignity, and the universal human condition. It's a cornerstone of realism in cinema.
Absolutely heartbreaking and essential viewing. But Italian cinema isn't just about gritty realism. As the country rebuilt, so did its cinematic ambitions, leading to grander, more philosophical narratives. This brings us to the visionary Federico Fellini.
Fellini, his name, evokes a sense of spectacle, dreamlike imagery, and a blend of the sacred and the profane. His films often explored the complexities of modern life, memory, and the human psyche with a unique, operatic flair. Our recommendation for Fellini is his iconic La Dolce Vita.
La Dolce Vita is a sprawling, episodic journey through Rome's high society, capturing the glamour, moral decay, and spiritual emptiness of the era. It's a visually stunning, deeply cynical, yet strangely captivating film that truly embodies the term philosophical narrative. It also pioneered the paparazzo concept.
And it's important to note how both French and Italian cinema, particularly since the 60s, have often engaged in co-productions, sharing resources, talent, and audiences across borders, further cementing Europe's cinematic identity.
Speaking of influence, while she's an American director, the legacy of this European cinematic soul can even be seen in the work of Sofia Coppola. Her contemplative style, focus on female experience, and often melancholic aesthetics feel very much in conversation with the art house traditions we've discussed, particularly drawing from that Italian heritage through her family and a certain European sensibility.
Definitely. And while we've focused a lot on deep art house, European cinema also knows how to charm a global audience without sacrificing its soul. Our final recommendation for today, proving that point beautifully, is the delightful French film, Amelie.
Amelie is a whimsical, visually inventive, and utterly charming film that became a global phenomenon. It perfectly blends that quirky French sensibility with universal themes of connection and finding joy in the mundane. It shows that art house doesn't always mean inaccessible, and that films can be both critically acclaimed and commercially beloved.
What an incredible journey through two powerhouse film nations. From the intellectual rebellion of the French New Wave to the raw truth of Italian Neorealism, these cinemas have consistently pushed boundaries, explored the depths of the human condition, and given us some of the most memorable and thought-provoking films ever made.
They've taught us about the power of the director's vision, the importance of government support for the arts, and how cinema can reflect, critique, even shape the very soul of a continent.
So, if you're looking to delve deeper into Europe's cinematic heart, we highly recommend starting with these films. For the French New Wave, The 400, Blows and Cleo from 5 to 7. For Italian Neorealism and The Masters, Bicycle Thieves and La Dolce Vita. And for a taste of modern French charm, Amelie.
These films are not just stories, they are experiences that will stay with you long after the credits roll.
That's all for this episode of the Global Film Lens. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the cinematic souls of France and Italy.
Join us next time as we continue to unpack the world's film industries. Until then, keep watching, keep thinking, and keep exploring the sacred spaces found on the Global Film Lens.